Right. Now let's see something decent and military. Some precision
painting. Hello and welcome to my tutorial for orc skin. These are the paints that you'll need. A full list is given in the description below. This is quite a naturalistic looking orc skin as opposed to the cartoony style that you normally get, so it should look something like this when you finish. Okay, so we'll start off by laying down a smooth base coat of Loren Forest from Games Workshop. Try and keep the paint quite thin. You can see here that it covers quite well, but you'll probably have to do a couple of coats to make sure it's opaque. Just take your time. Getting a smooth coat at this stage is probably one of the most important steps, so there's no sense in rushing it. When you finish with that, it should look something like this. Next up, we're going to make a wash using equal parts Castellan Green and DoomBull Brown. They are mixed together with a few drops of water and a few drops of medium. So my general approach is to apply the wash quite thickly and then use the tip of the brush to draw out any areas where it seems to be overpooling. That way you won't end up with streaks or watermarks. It's also good to have a clean brush handy so you can fix any mistakes that you made. A quick blast with a hairdryer and we're done. So this is how it should look when you finish. So we're now going to make a second wash, this time using 2 parts Castellan Green, 2 parts Rhinox Hide and 1 part Black. These are again mixed with a few drops of water and medium. As before, lay it on pretty thick and then draw off the excess with the tip of your brush. So hopefully you can see here what I mean by drawing off the excess. Once the washes are over, we can move on to the highlighting. Start off with Loren Forest. Keep the paint quite thin, just a little thicker than the glaze. As you apply the paint, try and lightly draw the brush across the surface towards where you want your highlight to be. Rather than blocking in the colour, it's better to aim for a smooth transition between the mid-tone and shadow. When you're doing the shoulders, you'll notice here there are usually several indentations running across the surface. Try and keep these in shadow and treat the surrounding areas as individual sections. This will be important later on when applying the finer detailing. So here's how it should look when you finish that. Okay, for the second highlight, you're going to add a little Tau Light Ochre to your base colour, just enough to lighten it slightly. Adding more will give your skin a yellower tone. It's up to you whether you want that or not. I tend to prefer a paler skin tone, so I don't use very much yellow. As far as technique goes, it's the same idea as before. Keep your paint thin and feather the paint in the direction you want the highlight colour to be. And here's how it looks after the second highlight. So for the next highlight, add a little bit of birch from scale colour to the mix and continue building up the highlights. If you don't have birch, you can use any off-white bone colour.
And now for something completely different.
Is there another way down? Please help me!
Okay, so now that you've built up a few subtle highlight layers, you're going to do a final highlight that's very sharp. So to do this, you're going to use almost pure birch. Be careful to keep these very fine, make sure you have a good point on your brush, and use a very small amount of paint. So even though the highlights are very small, I'm still trying to feather them slightly to get a smooth blend. I also use a two brush technique here, where I apply the highlight with one brush, and then with a clean brush I come in and feather the edge in order to blend it out. So here I'm going to add muscle striations on the shoulder. This is done simply by painting fine lines to give the illusion of texture. And I'm going to do the same thing here on the bicep. And again, the same idea on the other arm. And that should be about it. So here's some examples of how it looks when it's finished. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in seeing more videos like these, click subscribe and like the video. If you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see in future videos, leave a comment below. Thanks again. Bye for now.